Donald Trump is obviously desperate to pass his big, beautiful bill because he needs, Congress to do something. It can't just all be executive orders. And he has to pay back the wealthy who bought him during the last election. And so to get it done, he's feuding with the limited number of Republican holdouts who are still either saying or implying that they might be a no vote. So he's putting pressure on them. He's going and seeing them. He's attacking them on social media. Will it work? Remains to be seen. It generally has over the past few months. But for now, we do have this fight. And so Thomas Massie has been one who's clashed with Trump a number of times. Trump has been attacking him for literally years at this point. And Massie says that he's worried about this bill increasing the deficit, which, and I hope Carolyn Leavitt is listening, it will. That's what it's gonna do. Stop lying about that. So anyway, here is Thomas Massie on this bill.
Over here, the people in favor of this bill say that under the policies of this bill, we're going to add $20 trillion to debt over the next 10 years, which is $3.5 to $5 trillion more than would have been added otherwise.
This is deficit neutral.
But have you heard that?
Yeah, that's a joke.
I'm a bigger fiscal hawk. There's nobody like me as a fiscal hawk.
Thomas Massie said that adds more deficit than Biden did. This bill kind of
Because we have to fix the country.
Do you think that Thomas Massie is correct in saying that this is adding Biden?
No, I don't think Thomas Massie understands government. I think he's a grandstander, frankly. He'll probably vote. We don't even talk to him much. I think he should be voted out of office.
Okay, so look, I like the idea of a president who's, willing to exert power. Unfortunately, it's the worst ends with Donald Trump. So nobody's a bigger fiscal hawk than Trump, who added over $8 trillion to the national debt the first time around after saying he would entirely clear the national debt. We would not have a debt anymore. Instead, he added $8 trillion to it. He's gonna do even more this time around. Massive hawk. We'll talk about Golden Dome in a bit. 150 billion more for the military, God knows how much for the border, just spending everywhere. Now, I'm not gonna imply it's the same as Democratic spending. It's not. This won't benefit the American people literally at all. So it is fundamentally different. But when pushed on the fact that he's gonna add more to the deficit than Biden, he said, well, we have to fix America by cutting the corporate tax rate. I do constantly hear people, they come up to me every day saying that this country will never be what it could be until the corporate tax rate is 15%. So anyway, all that's lies. All of that is, again, it's the grandstanding he implies that Thomas Massie is doing. But it isn't just Massie that he's clashing with. Mike Lawler is another one. This is over the SALT thing. And so why don't we get into that part of the fight?
The president reportedly said to you with regard to this, I know your district better than you do. If you lose because of SALT, you were going to lose anyway. What do you say to those 2 points?
Well, respectfully to the president, I've won 3 times in 2-to-1 Democratic districts because I know what the issues are impacting my district.
Did he say that to you, Congressman? Is that an accurate quote?
It is, and here's the truth. I'm one of only 3 Republicans that have won in a district that Kamala Harris won. So the fact is, I know my district very well, and there's a reason why I've been successful.
I mean, that's a pretty good counterpoint that he was able to win in a district that Harris won. It's a good point to Mike Lawler and to the people at district, vote him out next time, please. We really need to take back the House, but that's a good point. And look, there's very big disagreement about this whole SALT thing, but he has to deliver for his donors locally who want that deduction cap to be raised. Trump is less worried about that, although I think he's fine with it being raised in the end. He's more focused on the massive quantity, the trillions of dollars they're giving away. But anyway, I'd love to give you more, like a whole montage of Republicans clashing with him, but there really aren't that many, which is why at this point I don't have a lot of confidence that this bill is gonna be stopped. I just don't see that happening. But Sharon, do you disagree?
No, I don't. I mean, he did almost walk into that pillar and knock himself out, okay, as he was leaving. That could halt this thing or at least slow the pace. But no, you're right. We don't agree with even the people who are speaking out against him for their reasoning, but look, you had Mike Johnson standing there looking like a schoolgirl blushing with his head down. I don't know really what his internal feelings are, but he looks like a fool. Why don't these people, when Trump says, I think they should vote him out, and he plays the same old thing, I'm gonna primary you, and this and that and the other thing, he hasn't been that successful with that. So can't they, isn't there hope? Can't we I don't want to say kidnap them, but pay for some retreat where they're secretly there and they get together and we give him a blueprint. He's not as powerful as you think. I mean, he has captured the court. Alina Habba is the US attorney in New Jersey. I mean, there's a lot more going on this time around, but it boggles my mind. And what they get upset about boggles my mind. Okay, after all that, this is your line in the sand. But okay.
Yeah, look, we've been waiting for 70 years for them to stand up to Trump. I don't think it's gonna, here's how it could happen potentially is maybe the midterms are so utterly devastating. They get swept out of the House, they get swept out of the Senate. It's just a shellac and like you've never seen. And now he's very much a lame duck. Maybe then, I don't even think then.
They're getting yelled at in their own districts, like shouted down.
I
People
know
are getting
your
like
district
tased
more
and
than
stuff.
you do.
Right.
Yeah, no, dude.
And they're still not. I mean, come on. They can't go home, John.
I'm glad, by the way,
can't
we'll
go.
end on this. I'm glad that you mentioned the walk into the wall or whatever. Just like, I feel like this stuff should start to maybe
Mental
create
acuity.
a narrative, add to a narrative that should be there, but for some reason isn't. Anyway, we'll keep track of that.